Alright, I just want to take a minute to vent about this Austin Jones, Austin Powers controversy. Or is it really even a controversy? It's just flat out, straight, go to judgment, guilty of enticing underage girls to send explicit media to him to prove they are committed to his lifestyle, that they are the biggest fans. And I think, it just immediately, like, that's the thing. I ask, can you help me get online in a better touch with society, and tell me if I'm right or wrong. Aligning the cops, similar. I see an alignment between this Austin Jones and police, and the enticements, where cops demand ID. They use their authority to demand your ID, and I'm putting these together, and the difference is being underage or an adult, but cops will also demand IDs from underage kids as well, and try kids as adults, and it's just ridiculous. This Austin Jones got 10 years. I think that the cops that have demanded IDs from me should get 10 years. Yet there's credibility is what a lot of judges want to say. The cops have more credibility wearing that costume, having gone through that training, having the talents and the skill to demand ID from people, and making charges if you fail to produce that identification, fail to tell them your name. And it's like, this Austin Jones, he was using his star power, like wearing a uniform, and he was just telling people, if you don't want to go to jail, no, if you want to prove that you're the biggest fan, then send sexually explicit media to me. And he was in possession of it. And I keep thinking, cops are so similar to that. And that's like legal for them. They could demand all this information from you and then make charges if you fail. They use their authority and the court systems against you. You have no credibility as the victim, and they have all the credibility at the start of any court case with the controversy brought before the judge. I think it should set some precedence with this guy, this Austin, with this 10 years. It's something that I think would almost be fair to refer to when cops demand ID and say, if you fail to ID, I'm going to have to charge you with concealing your identity or some false thing. I'll be like, there's people who get charged for asking other people to prove their commitment to you, or in some way. I was thinking a bunch of words: grooming, coercement, suggestions. I mean, we're at what for this Patriot Act? We're what is it? It took a few years after 2001 for that to take effect. We're almost at a generation, an entire generation of people now living under these extra demands that cops can place on us. And it's a grooming by the government to keep pushing towards coercement, and power always keeps pushing. It's at the gates. It keeps pushing, and it's always going to be there. And that's the life of a victim. You're always going to have power pushing against further, harder and harder, for more authority over you. And it takes time. It's like frog boiling in a pot, so it takes time. And the courts don't like it when individuals will coerce others, but cops can get away with it. And I don't exactly I don't know. I don't think that it should go just with the like charge just for regular people. It's just it needs to be applied across the board. Okay, anybody who uses any position of social media power, of governmental power, they need to be pushed back. They need that coercement. When they say, "Oh, you're going to jail if you don't give me your ID," that now is something that needs to be dealt with even more harshly. Those type of coercements, okay? When they read the Miranda rights, they should also read, after they ask for your ID, you do not have to surrender your ID. You know, it's got to get to that point. If the cops had to get pushed back so hard that they had to read the Miranda rights, which they don't really follow, they'll just continue questioning you after they read them. They need further rights. They need the Hines rights. I'm suggesting this, so I guess I'll call it that, where after they demand your ID, they have to also give a statement. You are not required by the Constitution of this land to surrender your ID. I can only ask. If they fail to say that, then they're held in contempt. All right? Or maybe it could be maybe the Austin Powers, whatever that guy's name is, law. Something to coerce with their positions. And really coerce, keep asking and asking. Let me see your ID. Let me see your ID. Let me see your ID. You're going to jail. Let me see your ID. I'm going to take you to jail. I'm going to charge you with this and that. It's going to go in the papers. You're going to have to sit in jail until you give your ID and blah blah blah. We're going to take you to jail to identify you with what, fingerprints or something. All of this coercement, it needs a pushback. And it's just, I don't know, this guy, he's this singer, he lost his channel, he's going to jail for 10 years, prison. They don't keep people in jail for 10 years. It's over a year, I think, is prison. And it just upsets me, and I'm going to throw this on the cop channel because it's got very little content anyway, and whatever. So, if I'm in the wrong, please let me know, set me straight. It's just a feeling, and I don't like it.